you know, I guess maybe that's not the word I was looking for. Where my phone at? No answer. Thanks, guys.
I mean, there over your left or your right shoulder.
Okay.
No, it's not. I'm just fucking with you.
It could have been over there though. That's why I look like, damn, did I set it on that counter? Maybe.
It's in your doo-doo hole.
Jesus Christ, Jake. Hold on. Y'all hear my phone out there? Hand it here, please.
Lazy ass.
What a trash monster.
Who's a trash monster, bro?
Oh no, it was just someone I was.
You a damn lie. It's alright though. And here we go, because I had something. I was like, hold on, let me not even say this until we start recording. What was it though?
I don't know.
What the hell was me and you talking about, Jake?
We weren't talking about anything. Roll it back.
We were talking about shit, bro. We was talking about something. This isn't starting off the best foot. Because it was something I did want to know about, and now I can't fucking remember, and it's killing me. Never catch me slipping out of traffic. You jumped in, you jumped out. Wazzy left, Wazzy came back. Sensory shit, bitch, fuck. It was something about that, because you could say, oh, that's what I wanted to say. I want to be in those in the room with the whoever does it. What's the people name there?
FBI.
Huh? The FBI, yes. I want to be in the room with the FBI when they're deciding what cuss words we can and can't say on the TV. And I feel like I seen in like an episode of American Family Guy or something where they kind of mention like, all right, we only got like 5 bitches in this episode we can use, or maybe South Park. Maybe I seen that in South Park, and I was like, wait, is that a thing? Like, you can say bitch, but it's only like 5 times in the episode or something like that. That's the FDA approved amount.
I remember Simpsons did, or not Simpsons. South Park did that with the word shit when they had just passed some laws.
That's what it was. Shit, yeah.
And then Family Guy also did it in one of their songs because they were making fun of the FCC.
FCC is the 3 letters I was looking for this whole time. I was just gonna keep going down the alphabet, so I found it.
Right.
It was entertaining.
Yeah,
I got one of those letters right.
The F, yeah. I got the F too when I said FDA, but shout outs to the FDA.
But my FBI went ahead and inspired the FDA. So, like, I don't know. Did you really
you're one of them guys. Yeah, it's never as good as the original. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that'd be a really fun conversation, like room to be in, for the conversation of.
Like, how do you even? Does somebody send you the calendar invite for 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Wednesday, and the invite just says cuss word review? Yeah, cuss word review. All right, boys. Think it's about time to reevaluate what we can and can't say on TV. Any suggestions? Well, I think shit's just kind of weak now, isn't it? I think we should be able to say shit on regular TV now.
Oh, there's like profanity forecasting. We anticipate in about 8 months.
I mean, what you consider a curse is always evolving anyways, so.
Yeah, but have we come up with any new ones in recent, history thought?
We have.
What?
Boomer.
Oh, that's hey Karen. My bad. I forgot.
The B word, the K word. Yeah. Becky. Don't say Becky.
Yeah, Becky. Plies ruined the name Becky. For a long time and for a whole generation of girls. I feel bad for them, but that's a fire song though. Give me that Becky. That shit's amazing what you could get away with in music. It just seems so funny. Like, why am I in AOL? it seems funny how like we had these waves of the PC culture, man. Because I forgot who I was listening to talk, but they were talking about how every comic used to have to be clean. Like you wouldn't get booked anywhere if you had a dirty set, bro. You out there cussing or talking about wild shit. And I'm not talking about like the 20s. It's like, you know, it's probably like the 60s or 70s. He said this is how it was. And then somewhere around the 80s when McKinnon started coming around, I think he was saying motherfuckers start letting you get dirty. And then now you can't be dirty no more because you gonna get canceled. Like, it's just funny how this shit be in waves. Like, we just kind of get tug of war back and forth.
I disagree. There's not waves of PC. It's always constant. It's just what is being targeted changes.
Okay, I'm rolling.
So
But you don't feel like it's louder during certain times than other times. Like I don't feel like I heard. Well, I don't know. I'm still young too, still. So it's not. I ain't been consciously thinking about or listening to the world talk about shit for that long. So I don't know. Maybe you're probably right. But answer the question.
The way I look at it, for example, is it's like Republicans and Democrats both say like so. Republicans will go ahead and claim that they want smaller government and, this individual freedom and that sort of thing.
Politalk.
So they all, huh?
Politalk.
But it's not that they don't want to control people. They do want to control people. They just want to control people in different ways than Democrats do. Democrats will go ahead and say that they're all about, individual freedoms and stuff like that too. But it's just about two guys boning each other. That's what the freedom that they're looking for. And so it's like they're both the exact same thing and do the exact same thing, just to different populations and or for different reasons.
I'm rolling. But you don't think that it gets louder during certain times? You think it's always the same volume, just different shit getting pointed out?
I mean, it depends on what you're looking at and listening to. Like, if it's something that you're passionate to or about, then you're going to hear it louder.
Yeah, I'm rolling. Whatever happened to net neutrality?
I just remember hearing like tons of stuff about in the 70s from my parents about like the Vietnam War and the protesting going on with that, the angers with the government during that. There was the Reagan stuff. I mean, it's always been happening. It's just Reagan was what, early 80s?
80s, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, most of the 80s, yeah.
Okay, Okay, yeah. You right. That was a wild arc.
Whatever you hear, you may not hear part of the group.
True. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite American anime arc?
I've really been loving having the world's best military, yet losing against like a bunch of like rice farmers in Vietnam, and then follow that up by a bunch of poppy growers in Afghanistan.
Yeah, you're right. The Vietnam arc was wild. That was a wild one.
Well, no, not like Vietnam till now. Like, yeah. I mean, we're just been on a losing streak, and it's hilarious.
Hey, we've never lost a war, though.
Right, we never lost.
There were only conflicts because we lost.
Yeah, because we went ahead and got involved in them illegally, right?
That's funny.
Isn't the president supposed to go ahead and have Congress vote on this?
Nah, y'all can stay home today. I got this one, boys. I got this one.
Commander-in-Chief, bro.
The fucking Halo music plays every time you walk into the White House, bro. Oh. This motherfucker just get to sign this shit. It's old, baby. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I think my favorite arc might be West Coast versus East Coast rap beef arc. It was a lot of shit going on during that time in actual real life, while rappers was actually just killing each other because of songs and shit. And it was like, oh, you really gotta be gangster and or be rolling with gangsters in order to survive this industry, because you never know when you gotta, throw hands and or other things that like hot lead. It was a good arc, man. We lost some legends. You can't never have a good arc without losing some main characters. So you lose Pac and Biggie, and then you got to make some other antagonists got to come out the grass from that, aka Jay-Z, P Diddy. So it's a wild arc there.
Wazzy, you got a favorite arc?
I'm trying to think. I can't really. I don't know. For some reason, the whole '90s arc.
That's about the same arc I'm thinking about. But yeah. But you was out in these
different perspectives.
Yeah,
of the same era.
exactly. But you was outside during the '90s too. Wise, like I was still a baby. I wasn't outside like that. You was outside during the '90s, bro. Break it down, man.
It was a ton of neon, just neon parachute pants and everything. A bunch of new surfer words just started rolling out through the entire country. Radical, dude, all that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
That was when late '90s was when like PC was at its, I guess it'd be lowest is what you'd call it, where people were just kind of saying whatever. I mean, how many songs have we listened to from the '90s where you're like, you can't say that now?
I can't believe I was banging that, bro. What the hell was my parents thinking?
I mean, '80s was coming right off of a 10-year cocaine high, so everybody's just like that was when like drugs were starting to like fall back down, and then they picked back up in the early 2000s, and I don't know. It was a wild 10 years.
It was.
There was all the Clinton stuff going on.
Boy, Clinton. A huge technological jump during that time, too. Damn. You ain't lying. 90s was wild. Tamagotchis and two ways and what's it called? Fucking Blackberries and shit. Like, I don't know, like, or not Palm Pilots. Y'all remember big ass Palm Pilots? Fire! Kids will never know about them days, because damn, we jumped big, dog. 8 tracks and VHS to CDs and DVDs to MP3 players finally in the early 2000s. But that shit crazy thinking about that.
You could play games on a
floppy disk
calculator.
Yes, bro. Shout out to the T81, bro. What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
TI-83, whatever it is.
It's okay.
I was too broke to have the TI-83. The T81 was the knockoff.
the Casio T81.
And there she go, playing with my heart just like a Casio. Yeah.
Which actually, that's funny, because I was gonna say the Texas plot line has been super fire over the ages.
Yeah,
the fact that we just went ahead and completely annexed a portion of Mexico, and then we hate them for being Mexican. Speak English. Like, are you kidding me?
We're like, nah, we want this part right here. We need it.
And y'all better speak English right now, or I'm gonna be really pissed. I'm not pushing one.
That's fire. That's true. That is true, bro.
There's a lot of good arcs.
There are, bro. And I'm only talking about the American shit. We ain't even talk about, world arcs, bro. And because all those arcs, what's fire about the world is that all those arcs is like different shows, but then they have crossover events in World War I and II, like dog ass crossover events, like of epic proportions, bro. Like,
so CW was way behind that on a crossover.
Bro, CW better take some fucking notes, bro.
That would be really funny to see someone try to do that justice. Especially World War I. Like, I think that'd be really fascinating, because like the way that everyone got pulled into World War I, like nobody wanted to do it, but
nobody wanted in on that shit, bro. That was
World
like
War II. People were ready to go.
Like I feel it. Like you just had trying to chill, and then your little brother get hit, and you like, fuck. I don't even want to fight right now, but I got to because I can't just let you beat my little brother up, bro. Oh shit.
You can never let that slide.
What you mean we never? Oh damn, good call, Wazzy. We'll knock it out. This is the No Consensus podcast. This might be a record. How long we in on this shit right now? I can't even tell the time yet. But I'm your host, Mike Jack, aka Jacker, aka Jack Rabbit, aka Jack You Up, aka Jack Off, aka Jack Up the Prices like the gas. To my left is my boy Jake. I'm gonna say it sexy right now, aka Keyboard Elf, aka Don Dada, aka Badunka Dunk Foster, aka Red Beard. And then below me is my boy Wazzy, aka the Human Calculator, aka
Down real low.
Yeah, aka the Sizzler, aka the Red Twizzlers,
scared.
aka
You don't do a low voice well. You just kind of sound like you're terrified. There's a killer in the house.
aka Sexy Stallion. And this is the No Consensus podcast. Cheers, boys. What you sipping on, Jake?
That old ugly dog vodka.
What about you, Wazzy?
And this just pure whiskey.
Okay, my man's.
Ooh.
No,
You love to see it.
no face neither, bro. Just going in.
He's gonna go ahead and have no consensus with himself after that.
I mean, that's a daily thing.
Oh, what is this?
I ordered this, but it's like real metal. You see how like straight this thing is, and it doesn't like wrap around the head. Like you're supposed to wrap around the head, bro. Why is this sticking out like this?
Is it? I mean,
You said what?
it's got to be like flexible a little bit.
Nah, bro. This shit is straight.
I see it flexing there.
I'm scared.
He's gonna break his skull.
It's okay. You're only at Itachi. You go away halfway through the series.
Bro, first of all, tell me how cold Itachi is, bro. What like, come on, dog. And then what's funny is I just seen a meme that like broke down all of Sasuke's battles, and he basically never won no battles, bro. Like we won't get into that right now, but we can. But a lot of times somebody either gave up or let him win, or they just was already weak when he ran up on them. So I was like, damn, that's dirty.
Mike, that reminds. What's your name on Twitter? Mikey Edamame. I was really confused.
Edagawa.
Oh,
that's
okay.
a character from an anime I love called Case Closed. His name is Conan Edagawa. So I'm just his little brother. You know, I always thought the name Edagawa just went hard. It just rolled off the tongue well. So
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Edamame.
Edamame is also good. That's what is that? That's like raw
Soybeans?
fish. Oh, soybeans. I was
It's
way wrong.
The pea pods, the green salted pea pods. Where on those you can't eat the skin.
Damn.
It's just pure fiber.
Damn. So like,
You
what happened?
can,
I mean,
but-
that's what I was about to say. You can.
Really shouldn't.
You can. Motherfucker.
It's a tough chew. I've done it.
With enough willpower, you could do many a thing.
Wazzy, that's what I want to go down. Your journey of just consumption, bro. Like we've been learning about all type of shit that you've tried to eat, and it's just amazing, bro. Like
Grass, edamame skin.
I believe that a real chef needs to have gone through these types of trials and errors in order to really properly get themselves right. So besides grass and edamame skin, what's like another wild thing you've tried over the years that you was like, probably shouldn't have did that?
Trying to think.
You ever try gasoline?
No, but I did accidentally have some butane in my mouth once.
Whoa.
That will happen.
That wasn't a good idea.
Bro said that will happen. Explain how that will happen.
Well, I mean, like sometimes like you're at a rave or something like that, and you want to be that fire blower guy, you know? So you got a mouth, you got just like cheeks full of butane, and yeah,
Bro,
doesn't work out well. All the
bro
time.
said cheeks though. That's crazy.
I did try to be a dry pasta eater for a while. That isn't a good idea.
Dry
Wait.
pasta, is that a thing?
There's a ton of people who just chew on dry pasta.
What was the motivation?
Why not?
Oh, okay. Well, when you put it that way,
I mean, if I can save a step in boiling it, then
So what was bad about it? Is it just purely the taste, or
taste it crunched weird. It didn't feel good. There's no chewiness to it, obviously.
yeah?
how well did it go down the throat though? Did it scratch on the way down, or?
No, you really have to like chew it up and gum it up a bit so that
I feel
Bro.
raw eggs are weird. I wasn't a fan of that.
You said what?
What was that?
Raw eggs.
Oh, the classic Rocky move.
I just imagine that's what like slurping like a glass full of cum's like, you know?
You know what? I agree. Yeah. We all
Good
like we gotta tread this water lightly because whatever you say you can and will be used you in the court of cancel. This motherfucker drink cup.
Wait, I mean, why are you saying it like it's a bad thing, huh?
It's not.
Protein's protein when you put
Protein's-
it that way.
Well, all right. Well,
I'll try almost anything once if I don't know what it tastes like.
oh man, that's
Famous last words.
famous last fucking words, dog. I love it.
Oh, you got uranium?
I feel like
I'll
that'll give
taste
you
it.
superpowers though. Like I try it. I mean, you either die or you get superpowers.
Yeah, it's a real all or nothing situation there.
I feel like you just got to be the chosen one, like, and then the uranium works on you. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, so really at that point it's just a test to see if you are the chosen one. And would you want to go on knowing that you aren't the chosen one?
Exactly. Like,
No,
if I'm not the
just-
chosen one, what's the point of even being here? Just kill
Yeah.
me.
I'm just an NPC at this point, so
Hell yeah, definitely just walking around as the NPC. Speaking of that, I want to see that new movie that's dropping with our boy Ryan Reynolds in it. What's it called? New guy? Free guy.
It's got some great advertising. I love what they're doing with the advertising for it. Reynolds is just going like fourth wall, fifth wall on it, basically.
Yeah, I've seen everything except for like the release date for this movie. I have
Last
no.
weekend?
it's already out.
It's out.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? God damn, I didn't even
It
know.
did 25 million opening weekend. They were projecting 15 to 20, so
Oh, that's nice. It came out in theaters.
streaming and theaters.
I hear that it's like a really good new modern take on Truman's story or Truman show.
I like that. You know, that's one of my
Which-
favorite movies.
Well, and it's funny because when Julia and I went down to Pennsylvania for our anniversary, the little cottage that we stayed at didn't have any internet or anything like that. But homie had a DVD player with the TV, and he had several movies, including Borat. But it was not. Did I send you guys the picture? It wasn't like an actual. It was a burned copy of Borat. And then he also had Truman Show that we watched.
There must be a black barber shop nearby. That's the only time you still find burned CDs. Bro made this face like, if it was, it didn't stay long. Where we was at. Oh man, shout out that motherfucker really made y'all go back in the pod. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the past pod, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting going ahead and tossing a DVD in again and having to navigate a menu because it will just repeat that it will just loop that stupid menu music over and over.
Oh man, classic days, bruh. Classic days. You had to
having the old chapters and everything you had to get used to.
Shout outs to the chapters. When we first moved in here, the cable didn't come for like a week. So all we did was watch Disney movies on on DVD. And one of the Disney movies was Aladdin. Was it Aladdin? Yeah, it was Aladdin. But I didn't have the actual movie. All I had was the 2 bonus feature CDs, bro. And when I tell you, one of them was basically an entire documentary of how they made Aladdin, I was like, this shit low key just as good as the movie, bro. You like learn about all the like trials and tribulations they went through, because apparently Aladdin, they was like working on Lion King at the same time, I think, or something else. It's another one of the big joints. So they threw all they like B-list animators on Aladdin. Like everybody who was on the JV team had to make Aladdin. And then like towards the end, the dudes who was publishing it was like, oh, this shit low key kind of fire. Let's bring over some of the big boys, and then it helped finish them off because these niggas came out with some actual fire. And I just think that's so hilarious. Like, y'all wanted to make this movie, but obviously like y'all just gonna only put, y'all don't put y'all best foot forward on it, and then y'all get showed up.
How ticked off do you got to be one of like the JV squad that gets assigned to this, and you're killing it,
and then they bring over some fucking schmuck from the that they think is the varsity dude. Yeah.
Like no. Like he wasn't the one making this. Like this is all us.
Right. Like what do you think you're doing? But they showed that. But I was like, yeah, this shit fire. Because once again, it's another one of those things, like animation back then was just so meticulous, bro. Like y'all drawing frame by frame, and it's not no like computers and stuff really for them that like do some of the automation that they get to do nowadays. And I don't know, I just respect that shit so much. I like it when shit is harder to do, I guess.
Well, man, have you seen the videos like of them describing the old cartoon animations that they were doing, like painting on the glass and how they'd have like several and have them layered and like move and panning the camera. Yeah, that stuff's wild, man.
I mean, yeah, it was all like it was done on like cellophane basically to get movement.
That shit.
Got one fire. Right above me, right up here.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't know what that is. My bad.
I don't either.
If you don't know, you're gonna know.
That's a fact. So what you been up to, Waz? Been a minute.
Not much. Played through that New World beta. They had dropped a mini beta for D2 Resurrection. It was only like an act. So yeah.
Damn, I missed that.
It was only an act. So it was like, or 2 acts. So it was like an hour and a half of gameplay. Got through Loki. Loki was amazing.
Loki was good, bro. And I expected it to be, but they didn't take, with these time travel and I'll just say time travel. With the time travel concept, a lot of times you can kind of guess what's going to happen. They took a good approach. I like seeing refreshing approaches that I can't just guess from the first episode what's going to happen at the end. So I'm excited for that season 2. Out of Falcon Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki, this is the only one that I'm like, yeah, I need the season 2 for. I'm kind of good with the other ones staying where they are.
I would love a season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think the story they told was really good.
Yeah.
For Loki, there is more story.
There is more, exactly. And and when I say I don't want another second season, it's more so because I kind of want a movie instead of another season of that. I think they should just transfer straight to the big screen from what they had there. And I think it'll translate pretty well.
I think WandaVision actually worked better the way they wrote it as an episode type thing.
Yeah, but like I just think
I
that
wouldn't mind
story
a
is
follow-up movie though, like a WandaVision follow-up movie.
yep, exactly. Like I think that they told most of that story. Now you can get into something big with them. Cause she fucked up. And also, where the hell is Doctor Strange at, bro? All this, he supposed to be the defender of the earth, bro. You got Wanda over here, took up a whole goddamn city, turned 1,000, 2,000 people into zombies. You got a nigga running around with Captain America's shield, beating people up, and they trying to make super soldiers. You got Loki really messing up the whole timeline. I thought that was your thing, bro. You got the time stone, and he just sitting there eating tuna sandwiches. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Useless. And they never really show how strong Doctor Strange is anyway, so I'm just really waiting. Like, can y'all like really show this man off? Because he got his ass whooped in Endgame by I always forget the dude's name, but one of the children of
Dormammu?
yep, smacked him. So I'm like, you gotta get your licks back somehow, dog.
I thought they were making a second one.
They are. It's but that 2023 or something like that. I think I seen, or late 2022, because they still got Eternals coming out, which is gonna be good.
2022.
Cool.
As part of Phase 4, so it's still
okay. Shang-Chi coming out soon, and I really hope they don't Iron Fist this fucking movie, because Shang-Chi goes so hard, and really all you gotta do is just have good fight scenes, bro. I went back and watched some of the Iron Fist fight scenes like last week. Oh my god, John. How do you
think it was just the fight scenes that went ahead and
For me, it was that was the final straw. Like, if they would have had like super dope fight scenes, I would have been able to kind of get past a lot of the other shit. But not only is the story convoluted and the main character doing shit that I'm like, why would you ever do that? Then I got to turn around, and the main part of Iron Fist, his kung fu is ass too. I was like, this shit crazy.
Who did it better, Arrow or Iron Fist?
No. That's a tight race for last place.
I have to give it to Arrow because it's just it just simply is a soap opera.
Yeah, and it's on CW, so they can't even do the same stuff you can do with a straight to Netflix show. And it's DC.
I just remember like
but
Thea just jumping off a wall for absolutely no reason during a fight. Just got nothing out of it.
And then kicking somebody, and you clearly see the kick not connect with the face. Like, dog, it's 2 inches between your foot and the actor's face. And the same thing in Iron Fist too. I just don't get it. You guys are a massive production with a lot of movie. Watch this shit and say, nah, we got to get a different angle of this. Because I can see him not hitting him. This isn't wrestling, bro. WWE has better angles of fake fights than both of them things combined.
My issue with Iron Fist was that his kung fu seemed calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looked like Neo doing kung fu, where you're like, all right, every step there has been like acted out 1,000 times. It works for the Matrix because he's part computer. This is a master of martial arts. He should have fluid movement.
Exactly.
Step 1, step 2, step 3 looking movement. I guess in my opinion, Jake would know more.
And he didn't even get Iron Fist because he was born with it, right? He had to fight his way to become the #1 student and then kill a dragon to get it. You did all of that, and now you out here looking like this? Come on, bro. I'm straight. But nah, Jake, do answer that question because I am curious as well.
No, I mean, makes sense, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, I think a really good analogy would be dancing.
Mm.
If you're doing all the right steps, but you're doing all herky jerky, that's like,
ooh, that movement that you just made hurt me.
Right?
That shit right there, babe. Oh, god damn.
Like, okay, yes, you did go from A to B to C and all that jazz, but you didn't round out those edges.
Yeah, gotta
So it's like breathing. If you're a
True.
master, it's just breathing. That's all you're doing with whatever it is. If you're rapping, martial arts, dancing, all you're doing is breathing.
I'm rolling. And I haven't even seen that shit in a minute. Well, I guess I just watched a couple fight scenes from Iron Fist, but I didn't watch like the series, so I don't really remember all the scenes that pissed me off, but there was definitely some wild shit in there. So I don't know. I'm excited for some of these joints, but I'm ready for the next shit. Cause you've seen, I think they said, what's the fucking movie? The new Matrix that they doing? 4? I think, did they push that back?
I haven't heard anything about it recently, so probably.
Because that's another one. I ain't watched Matrix 3 in I don't know how long. I watched Matrix 1, a million times. And then
December 2021, they're saying December 22nd.
All right. Well, I watched Matrix 1 a million times and then sprinkle some Matrix 2 in there. But I literally probably ain't seen 3 in about 10 years, maybe. It's literally been that long. It's probably been 10 years.
You do Matrix 1 once a year, Matrix 2 and 3 probably once every 5 years or so.
Well, we'll see what they do with this one, because I don't really know where they're going with it. What's up, Jake? What you got on your mind too, buddy? I know it's a lot too, so take your time.
Just always the usual. We went to Pennsylvania for our 2nd anniversary.
Okay.
And that was neat. Went to just like the boonies, middle of nowhere, and like it took dirt roads to get there, following the GPS. So it was fun.
Are you saying it was fun sarcastically or?
No. I like that stuff.
Okay, cool.
I mean, especially like the fact that there's still a pandemic going on. So like, I like being out, like just away.
I feel that.
And stuff, so, and then we went while we were there. So I was trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and she tends to go to the Lake Michigan side quite a bit, Traverse City and all that jazz. The UP was just a bit too far, being pregnant and all that. So I was wanting to take us up to like Alpena area and Tawas, but I don't know, it just didn't work out. The stuff was like stupid expensive. It was like $200 a night, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling that. So I think the way I came about doing it was, I was like, how far is it to Buffalo, New York? Because I know it's not that far, but I know it's too far.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that on Google Maps, it showed all of Lake Erie, and I was like, oh, she ain't ever been to Pennsylvania. So we, there's just like a little snippet of Pennsylvania that touches Lake Erie. So we went just south of Erie, the city. But they got a beautiful state park there, Presque Isle State Park.
Mm.
That's really well worth it. It's a peninsula that juts out into Lake Erie, so they've got like 15 different beaches. It was on a Saturday.
Damn.
We went up. Yeah, we went up there on a Saturday, and like we were able to find a beach that didn't have a whole lot of people there, and like really get comfortable and chill out and all that jazz. So
Saturday was nice too.
Yeah. So there was that. And then I had to work on my car a little bit. Oh, I don't even.
Oh, you a man.
Yeah, my check engine light had come on, and I bought myself one of those OBD scanners. And it said,
"Oh, dirty bastard."
No, OBD.
Oh, okay.
ODB.
Oh, bastard, dirty scanners.
Yep. And it said that it was the crankshaft position sensor that was gone bad, so replaced that myself.
Oh, that's a man.
And yeah, then other than that, the baby is growing. Julia is about 24 weeks now, so we're getting somewhere. Just last Thursday, I was actually able to feel the baby kick for the first time.
Ooh, fire.
So that was neat.
Did she be getting heartburn during that time?
No heartburn. Last night she was like, I think the damn baby kicked a rib out of place. Because whenever she even touches food, that baby's kicking around. So
he know it's coming. That's hilarious.
yeah,
That's a fire random trip though. I don't want to jump off that just too quick. What even made you like where'd you find the spot that y'all stayed at? I mean, Airbnb, Verbo? What's up?
yeah, Airbnb. I was just looking around. She had never been to Pennsylvania, and I was like, she wants to go to the beach and stuff. She loves the water, so let's look at the same lake that we always do, Lake Erie, from a different angle, and
like
found that place on Airbnb. The dude was I mean, it was a little different, but like also really cool because the guy's got like 20 acres of gardens and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, yeah, the mosquitoes were really bad, so we didn't get to really enjoy them. But it was also very rustic in the cottage.
And
that's
a nice way to put it.
Yeah. I killed a lot of spiders. the first night, Julia found the vacuum, and she got after it there. And I mean, I killed some pretty sizable spiders. Like not little daddy long legs.
Some boys.
Yeah.
Some boys.
I mean, like what I was doing was
Jake, I was sitting here thinking, man, that sounds like a great idea. We should just get someplace, a nice cottage, out the way, no Wi-Fi, no nothing, just enjoy each other's company. Then you mentioned them spiders, and I have officially rescinded my ballot to do such a thing because I couldn't burn it down.
For a couple of them, I had the Lysol in the left hand and my slipper in the right. Stun them with the Lysol so they don't move around too much.
Oh, your technique is down packed. That was good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was funny because the first night when we got there, it was a little later. It just looked like there was cobwebs in the corner. Julia was getting after those and stuff. But the next day, it was quite obvious that there was
an
numerous spiders. Yeah, and that sort of thing. So Julia was really worried about crashing that night.
Yeah.
But see, here's the funny thing. My perspective is this. I already slept one night through the spiders without knowing that they were there, and here I am.
Yep.
So we've gone ahead. We've lessened their population. We've genocided them as best as we could. And so, like, it's, if anything, we're in the same situation as we was last night, if not better.
Okay. Well,
so.
I take it you didn't have no sex that weekend, though.
That's neither here nor there.
Because, let me go ahead.
But the one of the nice things was that picnic basket and blanket that I had gotten her for her birthday. We were able to make good use of that on the trip. So instead of stopping at a restaurant or anything like that, we just went ahead and packed up the cooler and stuff. And on the way out there, stopped at a like one of the nice Ohio State rest areas, unlike our trashy ones. And just went ahead and broke out the blanket and the picnic basket and had like a nice old school little picnic there on the way there and back.
I like
we
it.
Actually, we ate out one time, and everything else, like we got food and we're cooking it in the cottage, or made sandwiches and stuff like that on the road and stuff. So
Man, sound like y'all had a good time, dog. I don't, you know, you gotta. I want the young boys out there listening to just take note, man. You don't always gotta fucking fly to Vegas and Atlanta or Miami, spend all this money on these hotels and shit. The times that y'all gonna remember shit like that, bro, when y'all just together, ain't got shit to do except for enjoy each other company and figure it out. And that's the shit we talk about. Remember when the lights went out, we just lit some candles and I bust your ass in Monopoly. Like, that's the shit you end up talking about, dog. Not the, because you, first of all, you don't remember half those nights in Miami because you're drinking too much. But second of all, it just blended into all the other nights that you already had like that. We going out and partying, bro. Them party nights just seem the same after a while, dog. And not to say it's not fun, because I'm the party guy in the group here. I don't, I'll enjoy going out here and there, but I just as quick stay in the crib, bro. Let's play Overcooked, bro. First of all, and I put that status up because if y'all haven't played Overcooked with y'all wives, give it a try. Let's see who gonna get a divorce this year. I really just need all my married friends to play this shit because it's just too good, bro. It's too good. And if I ever did a marriage counseling like camp, you best believe y'all grabbing the sticks during one of the classes. Now, Michael. Now, Wazzy, why did you talk to her like that when she didn't grab the lettuce? Did you not notice that Did you not notice that you also let the onion soup burn during the time that you was yelling at her? If you would have properly talked to her, y'all would have been able to get the sandwich out and the soup out in the proper time. You know what, Doc? I didn't even think about that. I'm not a doctor neither, but I'm still gonna make you call me Doc. So, Dr. Jackson,
like Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he ain't got no PhDs.
I don't think so.
Look up Dr. Phil real quick, Wazzy. Let me see if this man got some credentials, bro.
No, he doesn't.
Bro, it's no way you out here famous as Dr. Phil and you ain't got
He's
no
got
credentials.
the Oprah credential, bro. You backed him up.
I guess he does have a doctorate in clinical psychology, so he is a doctor.
All right, cool. I'm just making sure, bro. I'm not for what school?
What about a doctor
or something?
You said
Midwestern State University. It's a B. Wait, no, that's the alma mater. Never mind. Where did he get the PhD?
That's funny. My whole life was about to shatter just now. Like
University of North Texas.
Okay, I don't know how prestigious that school is, but it's a university, so we'll let it slide. I'm not nobody to talk. I went to Marygrove, and you two motherfuckers dropouts. So who are we?
I went 3 places.
My boy Wazzy done seen it all. What you talking about, boy? Tasted every flavor in the motherfucking rainbow. Delicious. So, out of the 3 places, what was the best party school, Wazzy?
I mean, I went to 3 community colleges, so none of them were party schools. I mean, I guess technically Wayne State isn't a...
It's not a community college.
That's not.
No, but I went to one of the satellite campuses.
I mean, it's still not community, but
right.
I'd have to say out of party school. So
U of M Dearborn's still U of M.
Right, but I wouldn't consider that a party school.
Debatable.
And
U of M Dearborn was not a party school. Them motherfuckers coming to our school to party.
I'd say U of M had the most fun parties of places I went. Eastern was kind of weird. Central was fun.
Yeah,
Central was really cool.
I hear about the Central parties too. I'm trying. They dorms was always small though. Like U of M had, terrible freshman dorms, but you got to work your way up, I guess. Like when I got to Marygrove, that was the one thing that I was like, all right, we got the best dorms out of any college I've been to. They was big, enough room, 2 sides, living room. It was basically what suites were for other colleges. And I was like, all right. But besides that, bro, I mean, I talk shit about my school. black and green, baby.
Wait, are they still around?
Now that's the question, isn't it? The mystery of Marygrove. I'm writing that article. Are they still around? The buildings are there.
Are there people living in them?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how much farther I can go. Like they said, they turned it to K through 12. I don't know. I think U of M actually bought it from the IHM sisters. So I don't know where it is. It's in limbo. But I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Marygrove closed one day. Some investigative reporter.
Milan got a comic book store now.
Oh, you gotta let me know if they got some fire in there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I was there last week for their like opening day, and I got a Latin grammar book for the baby. But
fire.
It's also a used bookstore, but
that's cool. That's dope. I'm also like really intimidated by comic book stores. One, because I don't know where to start, and if I walk in there, shut the fuck up.
And those nerds are super douchey,
and that's the second part. That's the second part.
Beat up their whole lives and stuff like that, and this is the one thing that they got on you.
Yes, bro. That's the other part, bro. I don't want to go in there and be getting out nerded. But I just want to know like simple shit, and I don't want you to get upset. Oh, this guy doesn't even know about Earth 1672 with the Latino Superman. Like, no, bro, I didn't get it.
Have you been in a comic book store? I mean, are you going based off of the white super nerd on like the Big Bang Theory or something?
I am going off of that. I have been in there though, but less so of the people, because I know that most of the time they'll be all right. But when you walk in there, like the one down here, just so much shit, and I don't like go in there with nothing in mind for what I want, so I just kind of get overwhelmed by that. But got to find out
when you're going through crates and crates.
Yeah,
and crates
exactly. Yep, of shit, fire, but shit. Just all shit. And then this brings me to another point that I wanted to ask you, Waz. I seen somebody on Twitter write, they said that they bumped into their coworker in like the waiting room, not the waiting room, like the lunch area, reading a manga. And the dude was like, I know you're going to think I'm weird for doing this, but, you know, I just really like manga. And my man's was like, what type of trauma has this man been going through his whole life? And I just wanted to, like, from when you was at Andover and shit growing up, man, was that a thing, like, as far as, like, hiding that you watched anime or played games and shit because you knew motherfuckers was going to be on your ass?
Not for me. I mean, I played junior and senior year. I spent most of my time in the computer lab playing Doom. Freshman and sophomore year, I spent.
You had to jump on that proxy server, or was it wide open?
It was LAN.
Okay.
It was. And then freshman and sophomore year, I was either playing chess or Magic the Gathering until they banned that because it's gambling. Because part of the official rules say you're supposed to like ante up a card. It's one of those rules that nobody ever does, but
were y'all doing it?
No, fuck that.
So why the fuck would they take it away from y'all if y'all wasn't gambling? And what weird ass teacher found that rule and it made y'all quit playing?
That was a national thing. That was actually
wow.
Pogs had the exact same issue. But Pogs I did kind of trade. I don't know. I never really
traded Pogs.
Yeah. I never really hid what I did. I just didn't go in places where people would ask me what I was doing.
Yeah. I just know that there are kids out here, adults out here who were kids that, you know.
That's how growing up works.
Yeah, but I guess I'm trying to figure out if this is real or not, is my thing, or is it just in the fucking TV shows? Because I'm not gonna lie, yeah, we used to motherfuckers be like, look at you listening to Lupe, that old skateboard robot motherfucker, you watching Dragon Ball Z. But at the time, bro, Dragon Ball Z was so popping when I was in 5th grade that everybody was watching it, and then I just kept watching shit. So it was like the people I grew up with was already kind of introduced to it, I guess, since they all watched DBZ and they wasn't like foreign to it, but they was like, yeah, this shit weird. But all right, Mike. So I'm just like, damn, who was out here and getting bullied for real?
I mean, like,
I don't want
I
to
guess
sound
I wasn't
insensitive because I'm sure some people were right, but I'm just trying to figure out how rampant it was at Andover or even over there in Milan, Jake.
It wasn't like I got not bullied, but I got a little bit of bullying for like wrestling and stuff. It's like, oh, what are you, gay?
Why
I'm like,
the
no.
fuck would you bully a wrestler? That's big. They ain't know back then.
Never in my life would I.
They ain't know.
I'll have to say, out of all the sports I did, wrestlers are the most cohesive. Where when you're fucking with one,
Yeah,
the
bro.
rest of the group will come to your back.
Yeah, bro. Also, Wazzy, you was wrestling in the heavyweight division back then, wasn't you?
Yeah, but I was like a butterball, so it's not like I was strong. You could probably push me hard enough and I'd roll.
Still, they ain't
Roll
know.
back up to your feet though, bro.
Yep, get back up.
Eventually.
That's crazy. Because out of all the other sports in school, the wrestlers was the only dudes where I was like, dog, fuck no. Like every other sport, I was like, I could come and bust y'all ass in this tomorrow. All I need is one day y'all teach me the rules, and then I'll bust y'all ass tomorrow. Like that was basically every other sport I felt like that. Until I seen the wrestlers, and especially they conditioning, I was like, fuck no, bro. You niggas is going insane. No way, bro. Y'all still going? And it wasn't hard. It wasn't just hard shit. It was for how long they was doing it. They starting before we even start football practice, and then they still going after I'm leaving football practice and getting picked up for moms. I'm like, oh, they in here getting it in, bro. No way, bro. We had some good wrestlers my year at Rosser. A couple dudes won state. And I'm talking about little dudes too. You know the little rip dudes. I'm like, yeah, that's a spider monkey if I ever seen one. But
114 pound people who are way too much muscle for that body. You're like, how do you do that?
What's up, Shakai?
Okay.
I said, what's up? I said, what's up, Shakai? She just jumped in the joint.
Oh, okay.
Oh. But yeah, I wouldn't fuck with no wrestlers. But what did they beat the nerds up over there in Milan, Jake? And did you ever get confused as a nerd because you wore glasses? Go.
So I didn't go to Milan. I went to Lincoln. But,
Lincoln, yeah, Lincoln. My bad.
No, that's the thing that confuses me. Whenever I go ahead and like watch TV, I'm made to believe that if you were not like this alpha male football playing type, that you got picked on. And I mean, I got I had some beef with some kids like in elementary school. I remember getting in a fight with this one kid in 4th grade, another kid in 3rd grade, but like that was about it. And I got glasses in 4th grade too, but I just never ran into much trouble. I started Taekwondo, I think about 8th grade. Throughout high school, I was in the computer club. Like I was going ahead and getting my picture like for the computer club in the yearbook and stuff. And nobody messed with me. I was cool with the football players. I was cool with like the burnouts. I was like everyone.
The burnouts. I forgot about that subclass of kids in high school.
Yeah. The skaters and stuff like that. Like
where are your parents at though? That was always my question. Like,
yeah,
why you just do what you want to do? I don't get it.
In Bluefield, it's super easy. Parents don't care,
bro. I'm talking about yes, bro. Yes, all rich parents. They all out of town. We going out of town. We going up to the Alps for the weekend. Yeah, different money. But why you? Never mind. Go ahead. But I feel you. So you cultivated relationships with motherfuckers out there. Did you go to high school?
Never, it just was.
Yeah, I know. When you got to Lincoln, had you been going to school with those same people since like elementary school and everything?
I mean, for the vast majority, somewhere either in I want to say maybe in middle school, I think we took on like a lot more of the Ipsy kids, So that changed, like, so there's like a lot of extra people who started coming on over, but I don't know, like, I just don't know the point of all that. I don't know. I'm one of 7 kids. Like,
Right.
I'm used to being able to, like, or being forced to having to negotiate. You know, like, I mean, you know my family. Like, none of us are the same at all. There's little crossover here and there and stuff like that, but you gotta, like, learn how to interact with people who are different from you, who have different interests, and like, I can't think of the word, but, like, entertain those interests for some duration of time.
Bro, you said that, and I was like, damn, I guess none of you and your brothers, I guess y'all not alike it. I like never even thought about that shit. I guess I never even thought about that shit, but damn, boy, your pops had some diverse sperm. That's crazy.
I think the 90s was also when, like, was it Freaks and Geeks came out, so there was that was like the beginning of nerd culture.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
So it would probably be overall more accepting than, like, things, because, like, most of the bullying I think of were, like, from 80s movies where it was like
Revenge of the Nerds,
shit like that.
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds is still one of my favorite movies too. I ain't watched that in a minute.
I mean, I'm sure people are still being bullied, but I think a lot of it is less a jock picking on a nerd for being a nerd. It's both parties not wanting to see each other's eyes and thinking it's that testosterone, I'm right, you're wrong, that every teenager gets, that I think causes more issues than anything else.
Yeah,
because I mean, those nerds can be just as douchey, going ahead and thinking that a jock's just an idiot who can go ahead and run really fast. Like, okay, well, you try running really fast, you stupid nerd. Like, guess what? Like, if you're trying to outrun something like a lion,
yeah. No, I'm with you, because it is. The stereotypes is rampant, dog. If motherfuckers really played sports and realized how much thinking goes into most of this shit, it wouldn't even be no question like what's going on, and vice versa. If you see how hard it was to do some of the things that dudes who don't play sports do, you'd be like, all right, man, I'm tripping, because you could call a motherfucker stupid for being a star athlete, but go ahead and grab a football playbook and learn that bitch in 2 weeks and tell me how easy it is, bro.
You just always pick the Hail Mary, right?
Yep, just throw it down the field 100 times and hope somebody catch that bitch.
right, and that's the, like, part of the thing is, right, is that, like, maybe he could go ahead and learn the plays, but he can't go ahead and execute them at all. But maybe he could also go ahead and look at those plays, analyze them, and be like, oh, well, actually, if we did things this way, so we're actually stronger together. But it's that damn ego. That
boy, shout outs to that ego. That's a motherfucker. Terrible, actually. Is having ego a good thing? No, you gotta have a little ego, right?
Well, I think,
or is there another word for it?
So I think when you're saying ego, you're thinking egotistical, where ego is just part of your consciousness. So being egotistical is bad. Having ego is good, because it's part of your
medulla oblongata.
Yes, but no. I understand what you're trying. I think it's part of your, like, self-protection, if I remember correctly. Like, you're
disagree.
Oh, Reginald, I disagree.
I mean, just because, like, we have thousands of years of, I mean, like, whether it's Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, what have you, like, the goal,
religion talk.
The goal, more or less, is to destroy the ego. And it's not until about the 40s when we have the advent of modern psychology, where they're, oh yeah, no, this is actually just part of you. And I'm not saying that we should all be trying to go ahead and destroy the ego because it's evil, but I at least know that my personal leanings are like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that hoe.
I'm gonna eat that hoe.
Or at least that's the goal.
I mean, the definition I'm thinking of is the one up on dictionary. It's the part of the mind that mediates between consciousness and unconsciousness.
Mm.
And it's kind of like that inner self testing to see if what you think is going to happen type stuff.
Okay.
And Jake wants none of that. Do you want just consciousness and unconsciousness to be completely separated and not knowing what each other is? That'd be
Answer
crazy.
the question, Jake. Do you want none of that or not?
I already shook my head.
It's done. I'm out of here. I'm unconscious. Yeah, that would be wild. Your conscious and unconsciousness.
Well,
that would be like a superpower that they would give a motherfucker, right? Like
that would be all of those times when people have been taken over by the villain.
Yep.
And they're like, I could see myself doing everything, but I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
That is not having an ego. So Jake, you are a hostage for a villain. That is your life goal now.
Or vice versa.
No, because they have ego. You don't want ego.
Well, no. Because you're simply saying that it's the mediator, right? The ego is the mediator between unconscious and conscious.
Right.
So you're saying that the people who are possessed but viewing it are egoless, right? So they're acting unconsciously. But if they were to go ahead and act consciously and not have an unconscious that acted out at all, they would also be without ego, would they not? Either way, as long as it's not a mix.
I'll concede to it's a far greater question than either of us can answer in this couple hours.
We need more vodka and whiskey.
Bro, I'm sitting here like, dog, we done unlocked some other shit, bro, that we wasn't even trying to do. Because now I'm thinking about, like, I've been playing that Avengers game, and in the Avengers game, it's kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where at one point they kind of hit the whole world with this shut up, bro. They hit the whole world with this thing, and it unlocks their mutant gene, right? And some people mutant gene is fire, like literal fire, and you can be cold, and then other people's mutant gene is, turned into a lizard, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking, like, dog, what if your mutant gene was that you could separate your conscious and your unconscious whenever you wanted to and bring it back together? I don't really know how you could apply that to being a cool superhero, but I feel like that's something that somebody would be able to do.
Captain Woke.
Yeah, Captain fucking Woke.
I mean, isn't that the Hulk story to a certain extent?
Well, I mean, they're one and the same, though, bro. I guess it kind of starts off like that because he definitely is like, yeah, I don't remember what Hulk did for the last 2 years.
Because Hulk and Banner were completely different.
Which
Hulk
is funny. Go ahead. Why is that, though?
Was a very unconscious being.
Exactly.
He acted on the now. Banner was a very future-thinking being. He acted on his thoughts. So,
yeah, primal instincts.
And Jekyll and Hyde is also ego versus no ego.
But I guess the only thing is eventually Banner and Hulk become one, and they kind of not the bullshit that they do with the Dr. Hulk shit in the Avengers movie. That's doo-doo. I'm talking about he eventually gets to a place in the comics where he's still conscious during the Hulk transformation and vice versa. They come to an understanding.
He gets better when he has ego.
Yeah, but he also is a fucking big green monster that gets stronger as he fights. I'm just a regular motherfucker who could just separate them bitches and bring them back together. That's not a power, bro. I guess is what I'm saying. And I would be mad as fuck if I woke up and Jake can fucking fly, Wazzy can turn invisible, and I can just be woke. Like, all I had to do was watch some fucking YouTube videos for this shit.
Through pain. If you can completely cut out your consciousness and tell your unconscious what to do, you could do a lot of things, but your body would still suffer afterwards.
Okay, I'm rolling. See, now that's another thing I was thinking about, because in My Hero Academia, some people have shitty quirks that they think they shitty until they get the dude like figure something out, like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I.e., my man's with the big fucking the big eyes that got his power taken at the end of season 4. Who could just go through the walls and shit.
Mayo?
I can't.
Something
No,
like that?
I can't remember. And there's a dude, Jake,
I'll look it up.
who can like phase through walls and stuff, right? But what happens is the further he gets into a solid object, the faster it like flings him up out that motherfucker. So he didn't know how to control him. He was a baby. He was getting stuck in the fucking floor. His pops had to like try to save him, but eventually he figures out how to turn that into some code. Permeation is what it was. But everybody thought he was ass though, huh?
Mirio, Tagoda.
That's what it is. Everybody thought he was ass though, because he couldn't like figure out how to like go through walls all the way and do it like transition real good. So hey, this motherfucker ass. As soon as he figured it out, he was cold. Then they took his powers away. Like y'all hype my man's up. Let me not get into it. But I just don't want to wake up with a shitty power. Like, and My Hero's a great one because some dudes just woke up with tails, Jake. Like that's their power. They just had a tail. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna do with this?
It's like a back penis.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Done. Hey, two's better than one, right? Am I wrong?
You could be.
What the fuck do you need 2 for, Jake? 1 is enough. What are you talking about? 2 is better than 1. What are you going to use the second one for? I've never once in my life was doing something that was like, damn, wish I had a second penis right now. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
You could pee a lot quicker. You could empty your bladder twice as fast.
I would assume you get 2 bladders.
Well, that's a reasonable assumption, but not inherently like necessary at all.
Okay, well, yeah, I've never ever, and it's coming out the back. How I'm supposed to sit down? Come on, Jake, you wasn't thinking this one through.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever sat down backwards on a chair? How did you do that?
You talking about how we was talking about today? How JJ said Kamala Harris
yeah.
just pull the chair up backwards and sit down, cool as hell.
Do we want to talk about Afghanistan?
I mean, we got to.
Do we want to talk about wages?
No, I guess my whole thing about the Afghanistan thing is that this is another one of those roller coaster rides that is a part of history, man. I just feel like I remember when 9/11 happened. And I remember everybody want to go to war. We got to get them back. They just took down both the Twin Towers. That's an act of terrorism. And then it wasn't nothing but like 2 years maybe later, after we went to war, I mean, we got to get the troops out of, yeah, we got to get the troops out of there. Like, now we hate the war. And then now we're pulling troops out and everybody's like, why'd you pull the troops out? Why are we at war? And I'm just like, maybe I missed something, but I thought this is what y'all wanted. I don't know what nobody wants now. And what's the timeline on what's going on?
Well, I feel like that's kind of similar to what I was saying right at the opening about the PC culture and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone claims that they're against war, especially Democrats. They love saying that they're against war.
War.
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not been seeing anyone else pushing for war nearly as hard as they have been with this Afghanistan extraction.
So taking out the political like sides, the Democrat versus Republican views and shit, right? What do you, because I know you've been kind of talking about it, and you even asked JJ a little bit. What do you think about the whole, like, I just seen something on Twitter today Biden said basically that them taking over Afghanistan was inevitable. Whether or not we did it yesterday or we did it in 1 year, 5 years, it was going to happen. So we just had to get out of there because this is what we've been trying to do for a long time, right? So I don't know if you saw that or not, but what do you think about you know, the whole aspect of us getting up out of there, and then the you know, the whole taking over thing. Because I didn't know. I guess I didn't know that Taliban was, you know, deep like that and could just take over a whole country because the
In
motherfuckers.
72 hours.
Yeah.
So I mean, so there's a lot of different aspects to it. For one,
and YZ, feel free to chime in as well because I know you have some good insights as well.
So for one, I was against all of this war from the get-go back in the day, and it's just funny it's been funny to me.
What grade were you in when 9/11 happened?
That was 2001, so 8th or 9th grade. I think 9th grade.
Yeah, I was in 6th
You
grade.
know,
so
rebellious
you was in
teenager, right? So you know, to hell with what everyone wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, listening to Immortal Technique. You know, you know.
Yep.
Bush knocked down the towers.
Shout outs to Immortal. That boy, wow. Continue.
Yeah, and he had Mos Def on that track too. So I'm happy to see us pull out of Afghanistan. I'm glad about that. I mean, just on sheer principle, our war wasn't against the Taliban; it was against Al Qaeda. How long ago did we go ahead and murk Bin Laden?
A while ago.
Yeah, like so, like
the company I work at now actually had one of the dudes that was on that team that killed Bin Laden in a year ago, 2 years ago, to talk to the company. I don't know what he talked to them about. Everybody said that dude was very intense, and I'm like, you probably gotta be. But you know, that was just a light flex for no reason. Continue.
Yeah, so it seems goofy on a surface level that we were over there for so long, just raping and pillaging, and so I'm glad to see us out of there. It makes me incredibly sad, and heartbroken to see how piss poor of an extraction we've done and evacuation. We had people who thought that we would have their back,
right,
helping us out, translating, navigating, and all that sort of jazz. We had assets there, human assets, who believed in us and thought that it was going to be okay for them, and we left them high and dry, and who knows what the hell will happen to them. That's absolutely disgusting and despicable. Really pisses me off. In addition to that, you know, we spent how much money? $2 trillion on Afghanistan alone. You start factoring in the illegal Iraq war, we're up to $6 trillion. And are we ever going to get brought up on war crimes? But we want to go ahead and piss and moan about China and some Uyghur Muslims over there. Like, we want to go ahead and piss and moan about some schmuck in Russia, Navalny, and how he's being treated, or Navalny, and how he's being treated, but yet we go ahead and literally just rape and pillage countries all across the world. Yeah, I'm getting amped up a little bit.
I feel you though, because I didn't know all of this.
Standard.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter if it was fucking George Bush or Obama or Trump or fucking Biden. It's all the same.
Preach.
And it's absolutely irritating, and we pretend that it's a different sort of situation just because it's an elephant or a donkey in the White House, and it's just absolute BS. And then
I guess I didn't even think about all that neither, Jake. So thanks for enlightening me on that shit.
But it gets even funnier than that, because we left jets, we left tanks, we left missiles, we left all sorts of ammo and guns. We left drones. The Taliban now has a drone
Right.
army thanks to us going ahead and simply not packing our bags before we decided to leave. It's comical to go ahead. Yeah, we're the biggest, baddest military in the world. Yeah, a bunch of like cave-dwelling Taliban were able to go ahead and outlast us.
I guarantee somebody that I guarantee they got the order. Like, all right, we going home tomorrow, and somebody was like, "Hold on, what we gotta pack this shit up and send it." Nope, tomorrow, soldier, get your shit to get the drones. We got to get those right. Nope, we out of here. Like, like, bro, we gonna leave this shit here.
But that's the funny thing, because Trump had gone ahead and negotiated with the Afghani government and the Taliban and stuff, and settled a date for us to pull out. And then Biden comes in and he's like, "Okay, we're still gonna pull out, but give us 60 more days to make sure we get everything out, all of our people and all that sort of thing." I don't know. I saw someone go ahead and fall off the side of a jet earlier, so I don't know if we got everybody out. And then not to mention all the stuff that we left behind. And then, but then in addition to that, that fueled the Taliban, because the way that a lot of people seem to have seen it over there was the U.S. was going back on their word. They said we were going to be out by this day. Actually give me 2 more months and stuff. And the fact that the Afghani government that we put in place did not go ahead and pressure us at all, and they were just a bunch of cucks and rolled over and were like, "Oh yeah, you can hang out for another 2 months." That went ahead and fueled a lot of local people to support the Taliban a lot more, and is exactly why they were able to take over in 3 days.
Wow. You know, and when you say like a lot of people, I'm where do you see that from when you say that?
Wait, about what?
You were saying you were saying apparently according to a lot of people that fueled them because they took us pushing it back as you know, as just holding off and not trying to get up out of there. You're saying a lot of go ahead.
A couple of the news sources I've been reading and watching, like that's been part of their analysis, is that like over in that part of the world, being a man of your word still means something and stuff. So to go ahead and say we're going to be gone by this day, and then to all of a sudden turn around and say, like they don't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, I'm rolling. What you been thinking, Wazzy?
I don't know enough about it to get into it. I've just been kind of following along with what Jake has especially been saying. I mean, I think I read one thing, it was yesterday, and they were saying like a lot of people were expecting the U.S. to actually stay longer because the winter is a good time to leave because it slows down a lot of the progress that could have been made for the Taliban and stuff. But I don't know. I agree with Jake that there's a lot of double standards. Like I've been thinking, in our current world situation, we are still a superpower, but is it on the superpower in the current day and age when we've got other countries that are as big or as influential not doing anything? Why are we stepping in ourselves? And it's not like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on this, but it's not like we're doing things with the Geneva Convention. We're kind of doing within their rules, but we're not actually working with them. It's kind of alongside.
Yeah. I don't know because I don't know enough about other countries' politics either to even tell you where they occupy and what they doing to other countries and how they're exploiting smaller countries and shit. Because we know for a fact we're not the only ones doing shit like that. It was a little bit ago where Japan was trying to jump on China ass, and North Korea on some wild shit. Russia always on some wild shit. So I don't pay attention to that shit. Go ahead.
So that's the interesting thing. We always talk about Russia and we always talk about China. They don't have a whole lot of military bases outside of their countries. Between the two of them, you're talking about maybe 20. The U.S. will not disclose how many they have, but it's upwards of 600.
God damn. And no, I was saying, maybe I'm misremembering this, but I'm pretty sure it was a little bit ago that Japan was like,
oh yeah,
trying to, I don't know if they're trying to take over China or doing something with China, right?
No, they got a long-standing beef.
Yeah, okay. but like, Japan, size-wise, but it's just that technology jump that they got, and
yeah, I believe it was more of a territory dispute, if I remember correctly. It was one of the groups of islands on the south of Japan.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
And so a similar thing to like Taiwan, then basically, where Britain owned Taiwan forever, and then they're kind of like, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah, and then motherfuckers getting canceled for calling Taiwan a country on accident. Who that happened to? I think that was like Matt Damon or something, or John Cena. I don't know if y'all saw that, but like he was banned. He was banned.
Was it the Fauci thing where the reporter was asking about? No, it was on the BBC. At the beginning of the pandemic, somebody was like, "Well, what about the rule or rights for Taiwan?" And the interviewer just kind of like, "What? Oh, sorry, I lost the connection." And then she asked again. And he just hung up the call. Like on live broadcast to television.
That's fucking wild, bro. That's wild.
Drop the call.
Drop the call, bro. Asking about Taiwan rights. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, just ask Blizzard how they feel about Hong Kong.
Shout outs to Blizzard.
That whole thing was a mess, though. That was somebody who was playing a game that was, I didn't disagree with what they were saying, but maybe at the end of a child's game competition is not the best time to bring up the social inequities of living in China. I don't know, maybe not the right place and time for it.
I have to see what happened and before I give an opinion,
it was basically so after one of the Hearthstone tournaments, one of the contestants in China was what I don't remember the actual message, but it was something along the lines of we're all being lied to. I'd have to look it up, but he said it live on Twitch, and because it's a Blizzard property and it's a Blizzard based competition. Blizzard doesn't want somebody saying that they either disagree with or agree with. They don't want somebody saying something that they can't comment on. So Blizzard overreacted, banned the one dude from tournaments, and then took tons of flack and then backtracked. So,
well, I don't remember them ever backtracking. I remember was them doubling down on the whole like don't talk about Hong Kong.
That's retarded because at the end of UFC fights, at the end of all type of shit, when they be getting interviewed, a lot of those guys take the time to, this was a good match, blah, blah, blah. Before I go, I do want to shed some light on this, and that, and then leave. Like, that shit happens, bro. So what you gonna ban people for?
I don't know.
Right?
Pardon?
I mean, that's like your platform, right? Like, I mean, that's how you help shed light onto something that a lot of people otherwise wouldn't know. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. Just like if my people are being persecuted and all that jazz, and that's how you actually feel about it, then like this is your one opportunity.
Yeah.
I guess the super extreme version that popped in my head is a post Super Bowl interview of somebody saying Trump is lying to us all and he's gonna inject microchips into us. Like, you can think that, but maybe the interview after Super Bowl is not the best place to come up with that.
All right.
Well, on that point, I loved Kanye going ahead and saying that George Bush hates black
I go
people.
back and rewatch that clip at least once a quarter because I love to watch everybody else's faces and how caught off guard they are by it. Mike Myers next to him is like, What the fuck? And then I think they cut to like Chris Rock, and he's like scrambling to figure out something to say. Like it's the whole thing turns to fucking shit after he says that, because they were not ready to just skip whatever segment them boys was doing, bro. And it's just the best.
So good.
It's so good. Everybody's face that they cut to is fucked up. They like, because they like, what did he say? Now wait, now what am I supposed to do? What you want me to say? I can't. Are we live still? Turn it off. That kind of
real. We're doing it live type of moment.
That shit's so good. Because whoever they cut to, I think it was Chris Rock. He started trying to read his lines, and it sounds so amateurish too. Back in 1982, we were not as good today as we were yesterday. Like he was reading whatever he was on the prompter like a fucking baby, and I'm like, yeah, that boy unprepared. Nah, I ain't caught him off guard. If y'all ain't seen that clip in a minute, just go watch it. It's hilarious and it's cringy.
So good.
That's so good. Music time.
Sure. You don't want to. You want. I know you had mentioned wanting to talk about wages.
Oh yeah, what was I trying to talk about wages about?
Just the culture of people not wanting to share how much they make.
Oh yeah, that is funny, bro. And I don't know.
I don't want to say how much I make. I have no problem with people saying it, but.
Well, this is the only reason I brought that up, Wazzy. Okay, first off, why do you feel uncomfortable telling people how much you make?
I was trying to think about it, and I don't know. It's information you don't need to know, like, because I can use it as a bargaining chip if I'm going somewhere else. I don't know. It just
feels personal. It feels like a personal thing about you that you don't want to share with everybody, right?
I mean, one-on-one, like if we're just chilling, I've got no problem with it. But I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, and that's all I want people to be like as they move forward in their careers, right? Because the simple fact is, who even said that? Was it you, Jake, or was it JJ who had a friend who coworker was like,
it was a screenshot I shared, yeah.
Oh yeah, when you was talking about old boy who left, right? Yeah. I don't want to say how much, blah blah blah. I don't feel uncomfortable, blah blah blah. But it's like, I think about the concept of us talking about how much salary we make, y'all. It's really just me. We all work in the same field, especially, and me and Jake basically do the same shit, right? We all in IT. We all work with computers. Why do you do something a little different? So our salaries ain't gonna be exactly the same. But me, Jake, JJ, we all on the same fucking trajectory as far as where we going in the IT field, right? We all got different titles right now. We all got different responsibilities at our job, but for the most part, we're working up the same way. We just happen to keep branching off into different shit because you go to a job and they make you do different stuff. But the reason why I'll just be wanting us to feel comfortable to tell each other that stuff is because we got to be able to measure where we are in our careers and if we're properly being valued where we are. Period, point blank. I don't want my man's Jake to be over at a place and he's doing basically the same thing I'm doing, but I'm making, 75, 80K and he only making 55, 60K. Why am I going to keep that to myself? Jake, you need to know that you can do better, bro. Because if you never know that there's other options, you're going to just stick where you are. And that don't make no sense as a friend and or as a mentor or whatever you're going to be with somebody else. There's no point of hiding that information because you can know how much I make and it really don't change nothing,
Worker solidarity.
And like you said, Wazzy, it is a personal thing. So I'm not about to tell you the whole world how much I make, because it's none of y'all business. That's just all it is. Like I'm not gonna tell you my dick size neither. Like it's not gonna hurt me, but you don't need to know it. But as when it comes to people like this, us friends, or even somebody that you just met, that's trying to figure out his way in the industry. Hey, this is what I do. This is how much I make. You can get here if you figure out how to do this. And you shouldn't be uncomfortable telling people that information, man. I just don't know where that even started. I guess was a question I wanted to ask, like, where'd that even start?
I mean, I was thinking about that a bit. And I think it's been a corporate, like, corporates don't want people to know how much each other make. And that, I mean, that's a driving thing for the whole women versus men wage thing.
Yeah.
Competition, it starts drama. Like, there's a lot of reasons a corporation doesn't want two people to know what the other people are making. It saves them money. If you don't know how much if you're moving up a position and you don't know how much they're making, they can offer you less than them. So they've been working there longer. You're in the exact same position, but you're making a quarter or 75% as much. So, I mean, I see a lot of reasons why corporations don't want people sharing their wages.
That happened at the last job. And that's one of the
glad you
reasons
said
why I had issues with them, because I knew for a fact somebody else started working there and he was making more than me. And it don't make sense. So continue.
I'm glad you said that, Wazzy, just because, like, that's where, like, that conflict is exactly where my mind goes in regards to this conversation. So for you to go ahead and essentially say everything I was thinking, like, oh, okay, so, so it's rather reasonable.
It makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, it's also it's one of those conspiracy theories, not right, but it's one of those ways that they can hide things in plain sight.
Yeah,
and
it just pits you against each other.
Yeah, and don't you think that that's not how it's supposed to be? Like, that's even more of a reason for us to be open with each other, because it's gotta be. I don't. It's weird to say it, but it's gotta be us versus them sometimes. Like, if you want. It's like any corporation, company, team, whatever. They're gonna do what's best for them. Period. Point blank. If I can pay you the least amount of money to get you to do this job, I'm going to do it. But so, Wazzy, everything you said is right, and it hits it on the nail. So
I think a lot of the complexity in wages also come into. So let's say they hire somebody, MJ, and you find out he's making 25% more than you after you just got this new job, and they just hired him same position. Are you going to assume in 100% of cases that is inequality?
That's a great question, Wazzy. 100% of cases. I don't know. My mind doesn't automatically go there. It'll probably kind of creep in there a little bit eventually after I think about it more. But me personally, I probably just assume that I just got taken advantage of. And that's gonna piss me off. And yeah, I don't think so. It depends, man. It really does, because I haven't even thought about that. If I'm a black dude and I got hired in for this rate, and then another motherfucker get hired in right after me, and he's white and he get hired in for more money, and I find out about it, yeah, truthfully, my mind is probably going to go to I got finessed, and I'm not really going to jump to the race thing, but it might change depending on how we interact moving forward throughout the company. Hey Mike, why you were 2 minutes late today? And, if I'm start getting them type of things, or you on your phone a little too much and I don't see them nagging him like that, then those type of things start creeping into my mind. But early on, I probably just assume I'd be giving people benefit of the doubt. That might be that might be a fault that I have. That's a great question though. This case though, the other dude that got hired in was black, so I couldn't even go there.
Oh, I mean, like what if they hired an Asian chick? Like,
right now, if we talking about a minority female, I gotta.
My whole point was there's a lot of ways that a company can see somebody as being more valuable that isn't an obvious thing. Like maybe the new dude they hired who's making 25% more, maybe he knows Mandarin. And they're trying to get into a Mandarin market. You don't know any of that. It doesn't make any sense to you, but
right.
I don't know.
Because all he doing is coming in with this role, and I'm teaching them how to do this role, and we doing the same shit. But you're right, and they back of their head, they're like, all right, we can probably transition them towards here later on. But my only thing could be then pay him that extra 25% when he get that role. What the fuck you? Why both our shit say IT specialists? We doing the same shit and he making more. But I can see that being a case, Wazzy. But it's that's the only thing I would say. But you're right.
I just the whole pay thing does make things way more complex. I don't disagree that everybody should know, but it's not as simple as putting a name tag with your salary on it.
Yeah.
Also, have the balls to stand up and ask for a raise.
Yeah, guys.
Even if you don't like it.
If you're going to and have the balls when you get that offer letter, negotiate a little bit, man. That number they put on there, they already in their head kind of think I could go a little higher than this. So just say something else. I was supposed to get a number. I said, hey, I plan on being here for a little while. I plan on building with y'all. I've been doing this for a little bit. Do y'all think that this number is unreasonable here? And it wasn't nothing crazy. I wasn't asking for $20K more, bro. I asked for 10% more than what they offered me. They was like, yeah, let's make it an even, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bet. And we on the races. The only thing, they already hired you. They already like you. If you come around it the right way, the only thing they're going to say is, yeah, we can do that, or no, we can't do that, but we'll work with you with something else usually. So,
maybe they could fill in that difference in some other way.
Exactly. So offer letters. Maybe
an extra week of vacation or whatever, I mean, just say something.
Yeah, man.
I'm giving up on you.
Yep. And asking for a raise can even have them give you have them tell you what you need to do better to get that raise.
And that's what I was going to say next.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you Wazzy snatched it right out my mouth. You don't even got to just walk in there on a Monday morning and say, I want a fucking raise. You can go in there and build a relationship with your supervisor and be like, hey, what do I have to do in order to take the next step, get a raise or get a promotion because I've been really working hard and I kind of feel like I need something else. And then most times if they're not a fucking dick, they gonna break it down for you. Yeah, we be so scared to ask for shit, bro.
Because I mean, honestly, yes, there can be that antagonistic relationship between the worker and the company, but for short-term goals and profits, yeah, you screw the employee. But for long term, it's not a stable sort of situation at all. So if you're actually working at a good company, and if they actually have any sort of foreskin or foresight at all, they're going to want to help build you. And if you are feeling like, I feel like I've kind of topped out in support here, what else can I do? Mm-hmm. I'm looking for a promotion and all that jazz. That actually helps the company themselves out.
Yeah.
It's much easier, for example, to get a new support guy than to get a new systems guy.
And it's so funny you say that because I was sitting here yesterday during lunch and I just had a fucking epiphany. Like, why? You should almost always hire a support manager or supervisor from inside the company, bro. Period, point blank. Because I've just seen so many people get pulled in from outside the company to manage places, and it just don't work, bro. Or there's just
two great bosses.
Two of them, bro. I have so many of them, but it also cuts down on the transition period that you have to have, even if you do find the right guy. You might find somebody that is good, but it still take them a year, bro, to figure out what's going on and really have a handle on the department requests and how to handle shit, right? And that's not it's more than a year. I'm just talking about it probably take that long before you like, all right, I'm completely, I don't know everything, but I know enough to where I don't have to ask nobody for this and random shit's gonna come to me, and then I'm gonna have to ask for them. But I'm cool. But when you just gotta, I don't know, man. I'm like, why do people do that? Hire a dude. I understand why, because you might not have nobody on the team below you that's ready to take that next step. But that's your fault. Why aren't you cultivating the next person under you to make sure that he see these things? They be wanting to be gatekeepers so much, where it's like, no, Mike, I handle that, you handle this. I handle that, you handle this. But what's gonna happen when you put your 2 weeks in and now I gotta handle it? Don't be afraid to share. If you're a supervisor or manager, don't be afraid to share your knowledge, man, because you never know what's gonna happen to you. You want to put the person below you in a position to be able to step up eventually. Go ahead, Wazzy.
Was Jay-Z already a manager when you guys both were hired?
No. He was when I
He was
came
support
in.
when you were?
Yeah, he was a support dude when I came in. Jason was the manager, Jason Edgeworth, and it was like that for a year.
Okay, yeah, I didn't remember, right, because like that was an internal job
bro,
promotion,
and it worked perfectly, bro.
Yeah. So one thing that can be difficult is that you're having one of your peers who you're now reporting to, and personality wise, you could have conflicts there. That's why, like, for example, but I mean, so like at retail places, if they promote you to a manager, they typically move you to a different
Department.
store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or department, so that you're not going ahead and now barking out commands to the people that you were just shoulder to shoulder with.
there's a conflict of interest in a lot of cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But
it was good for me there though, because I already had looked at Jay-Z as my supervisor damn near, because he had been there 3 years at that point, I think, and he was my trainer. He taught me everything, so his transition was super easy for me because I already looked at him as my go-to guy every day. So, but yeah, I can definitely see that me and Jake work, and then next week, Jake, pick them fucking boxes up, man. How many times I gotta tell you? I would never do that to you though, Jake, but I can see it being a thing.
Right, but like, I think it requires, for one, if we have the right team in place, and if we promote the right people, like, you should, like, even if you're working side by side with someone, you should be able to go ahead and look over and like, okay, they're different. Like, they're cut from a different cloth, and then they get that promotion. You shouldn't be like pissed that they got something good for them in their lives. You should be happy, and thankful for them and what they got. And again, we're assuming that like the right person got promoted and stuff. So you're already looking at them like, yeah, no, like they totally deserve that and stuff. Yeah, they're not wrong when I'm having my one-on-ones and stuff with them, the criticism, the feedback I'm getting and stuff and all that jazz. So I mean, it shouldn't be that antagonistic. It could be a beautiful thing, but
right,
it's easy to see it go sour as well.
Yep, I'm with you. I didn't think of that, but yeah, it's like you said. The certain dudes just stand out. Like, man, he always on it. He's so organized. He know what he talking about. Like, he deserved that promotion. Like, but but I'm not saying that them motherfuckers come around every week. It's a lot of bad dudes out here, so you might just have a team of guys that you just had to put together for a minute, and you come in and work every day thinking, God damn, can't none of these motherfuckers do my job. But yeah, that's funny. All right, we'll take a potty break real quick, and then we'll get into that delicious album of the week. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Check.
Yeah, I actually have it on my list of things. I was thinking about for our anniversary getting Julia a French press. And I
You said
got
a
the
bench press? What you
Yep,
say,
a bench
bro?
press and
French.
string pole and
Oh, French press. Boy, I'm like, what
Man.
the fuck you talking about, bro? You trying to get her buff. Gains.
But yeah, that just wasn't happening this time. But I got it all picked out. I know the exact model and everything. And ooh, she's a beaut. And she's got history to her, so you know.
nice. I just have like a cheap $20 ones, and it works well enough. So
Yeah, I mean, I was of course, me being me, I was like doing the research of to like, well, when did it come about? Who was the original manufacturer of the first and stuff like that, and doing that sort of stuff.
Cowboys,
Yeah.
Cowboy coffee and French press coffee are essentially the exact same thing.
Well, yeah. But like the modern French press that like we all know and love. The design was eventually bought by I think a Swiss company, but yeah.
Fire. Pull up that album too while you get a chance.
Why you gotta talk like that, Mike?
You said
Why
what?
you get a chance
It's up.
Cool. All right, so this week's album, Blue in Exile, Below the Heavens. Cheers first, boys. Now that we back. 2007, y'all. Whew. So this project, it's hard to even just describe like the influence that this had on me, right? Because you got to remember back in 2007, we were still in the fucking snapping, dancing phase of hip hop. All the dance songs, getting silly with it, and fucking lollipops and walk it out, soldier dance. That shit was still all around. So around, I was still in high school, junior year. I was still just rapping for fun, running around the fucking neighborhood with my boys, recording songs on Fruity Loops with them in their basement. That sounded terrible. Trying to rap like them, but in my own way. So we still rapping about dumb shit, but instead of me just rapping about dumb shit, I was rapping with big words and shit. So, you know, they was talking about having sex and I was saying coitus, and I thought that made me better than them. Which it did, but that's you know, here or there. And then y'all already know my fucking fascination with Lupe, Kanye, and this was just kind of like the final straw, right? And the thing is about this project, I didn't even hear it in 2007. I didn't hear this until 2010. What I did hear from this though was Blue Collar Worker. That was the single on this album. And they actually played this shit on 106 and Park, and I was like, damn, they got some hip hop on here. Kanye really opened the door for you, nigga. And I don't know if it ever hit number one, but it was definitely like number 4, number 3 or something like that. It made it pretty high during this heyday when it dropped. So I really rocked with this album, right? And then I'm gonna take this back. I listened to it in 2009 when I met my boy Chris. So it was either end of 2009 or beginning of 2010. I met my boy Chris and found out he was a hip hop head. And so the reason this is without a doubt one of the most classic hip hop albums, underground hip hop albums, that you gonna hear. He from LA, so especially out in LA, if they a hip hop head, they gonna know about Blue in Exile. sample based project, right? So Exile is the producer, Blue is the rapper, and I just always wanted this relationship with another producer, right? Somebody that would just fully, you do the beats, I do the rapping, and then we just work off of each other and make some classic shit, right? So when I heard this album, I was like, you know, like I said, Blue Collar Worker came out in 2007. It kind of woke me up like, damn, got to get out of this because conscious shit is popping, bro. Like, even through all the bullshit, good songs are still gonna be good songs if you can kind of weave through it. Then when I went back in 2010 and finally listened to it, I was like, fuck, I should have listened to this back then. And it really made me say, all right, Mike, find your own lane and stop doing all this other bullshit that you're doing. And that's when I finally dropped my first solo project too after that. But well, just sonically, let's just talk about the actual songs, right? I've kind of touched on a couple times the difference between rapper styles, right? So you got dudes who are lyrical, aka or wordplay, dudes who are good with connecting words and coming up with different words and meanings for shit when they rapping. You got bar heavy guys who just have a lot of metaphors and similes. You got flow guys who just know how to ride a beat, know how to kind of find a pocket in a beat and rap good. And Blue is more so the flow / wordplay lyrical guy. And it made me realize, and really it's his voice that made me be like, fuck, I really wish I was like that, because I got such an aggressive voice that I have to really work at not sounding too hard on certain songs, right? And I kind of got it down packed with Raps to Relax too, but it took a while to get there. With him, he just is super effortless when he's rapping. He don't like he don't scream, he don't do nothing. It's just and I was here and then and I'm like, I always it was infatuated with that. And then the certain patterns that he used when he's rapping, I'm like, fuck, that shit is just in 2007, you know. And when I heard it in 2010, I just kept thinking about 2007 when I was listening to, like, motherfuckers wasn't rapping like this back then. And then you go to Exile side, he really you know, Dilla influenced, right? So you hear a lot of these sample songs, and what Dilla is, Jay Dilla, legendary producer from Detroit, one of his main attributes wasn't just that he sampled, it was how he sampled songs, and how he would take something that, you know, could be a very famous sample and you wouldn't even know what the fuck it was after he got finished with it, but it would sound cold as hell. You'd be like, wait, that was Whitney Houston? I Want to Dance with Somebody? How the fuck did you flip that? Like, he got really good at flipping stuff to the point where you wouldn't even know what it was and it sounded good. And that's what Blue Exile does on a lot of these beats, right? He chops them up. He plays with sampling, but he also plays with DJ scratches in a lot of these things, and he switches it up. So it's always like a great combination because he make the beat, and then Blue says that I always let him make the beat, and then I just go off of what he was feeling while he was making the beat, and then we get the song together. And that's kind of how I always like working. So it was his influence as far as like, Mike, try to get some swag, work on your flow, work on your lyricism, because you can't be yelling on every track, bro. Just be cool. I just wanted to be cool on the track, bro, and that's what he did in all of these. And I just love that they came together and just two dudes was rocking out. And Miguel is on one of these songs, on the First Things First song. Miguel's a fucking big artist now, R&B artist. And so now it's just always funny going back, and when I first heard it, I'm like, wait, is that Miguel? Come to find out, these motherfuckers grew it up together. And so Miguel's fucking platinum artist now, and Blue's just still that underground rapper, but it's all good, you know. But I'm just like, fuck, we gotta break this shit down, man, because the simple fact is, he changes patterns in songs so well that sometimes I had to sit back and be like, damn, okay, I see what you did there. And then his storytelling is the last part that I really have always wanted to capture, because now, especially when I listen back to songs like Good Life, when he's talking about his son, and like, how I'm a baby having a baby. Like, I just, you know, how am I supposed to do this, and what I'm going to do when you get older, and I got to explain to you how I was scared as shit when I had you, but I still had to be a man to figure out, like, make sure that your life was all right and be real with you and raise you up. Because in a time where, and he said it a couple of times, he's 22 when he wrote this album, he's like, I'm still trying to figure out all this other shit. So how can I figure out all this other shit with life that I don't understand, but also figure out how to raise you in your life? And those type of songs, like how it can hit me hard when I was 22 listening to it, and then hit me hard when I'm 31 and I actually got a son and I'm listening to it differently than I listened to it then. Back then I was just listening to it like I could understand that. Now I'm listening to it like I do understand that. You know, it's just a completely different ideals that I get out of it. And remember, it's first things first. And one of my favorite beats of all time is Cold Hearted. I just love how he flipped that sample and it just went perfect with that beat. So this was like the final straw in me saying, Mike, stop bullshitting. You remember that this album not only is real hip hop, boom bap, it's a legendary album. The record, you can't find this record, like the vinyl, for no less than $150 online if you can find it. But also, like, it got on the 106 in Park, bro. When, during the days when only bullshit was getting played on their top 10, this motherfucker was like number 3 or 2 for 4 weeks consecutive, and people want to hear that shit. So stop bullshit and be a real rapper. So, there's a lot of things that, like, lyrics that I could break down, but I thought it was more important to just tell y'all that it was more so the feel than the actual lyrics, and his ability to rap and his relationship with Exile that I always loved. And I love that it's still heralded as one of the best rap albums, underground rap albums, out of LA to this day. So go ahead.
So I find it interesting that a couple of the songs you had mentioned, I didn't disenjoy the album. It was good. I didn't connect with a lot of it. I just kind of it's music that if it was on in the background, I'd have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I got into the Narrow Path a bit, but with Blue Collar, Dancing in the Rain, Good Life, and Cold Hearted, I vibed to those really well. Like something about those 4 songs were what really grabbed me off of this album. I think it was the vibe that was going on in the songs, the beats that were being sampled, what was saying, like those were just kind of the songs that grabbed onto me personally. But yeah, I mean, most of the album, it was the kind of thing where I get bored just because it's a fairly consistent beat through the entire song, through the choruses and everything, but overall, I liked it, and I really did like Blue Collar, Dancing in the Rain, Good Life, and Cold Hearted. Those were just good songs that I vibed with.
I think that those are also the best mixed songs as well. So they might stand out a little bit more too.
Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just the mixing is what says what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm a basic bitch.
Like, I found this album so exhausting. I really enjoyed it. I'd never heard it before, never listened to anything by Blue and or Exile, but like I'm going through the lyrical content was just so dense, and I'm like going through all the lyrics, and I'm like, I'm still working on this. For one, like the lyrical content of any given song is really dense. And I'm just talking about on a surface level, not even any sort of analysis of what he's saying, the double entendres, or even like in relation to the beat. Just the words are pages and pages.
Yep.
And typically, one of the things that I used to go ahead and in my head claim as like a superiority of rock over rap is that a rap album's what, 35, 40 minutes long, and then like a rock album's at least 50, 60 longer songs and all that jazz. But this album was what's the track, like how long was it here? Over an hour long. It was like an hour 14.
Yep.
So for one, I thought that was like kind of wild and impressive for a rap album. And then not to mention just the lyrical content of any given song on top of that. It was just a I'm going through the lyrics and I'm like, I want this damn thing to be over.
Before you jump into that, Jake, Wazzy, I just sent you the video in the group chat. Pull this up and go to 37 seconds in the video. And I'll probably have to take I have to mute this part during the video, but it's okay. I just want us to hear it live. This is hold on, pause it. My bad, sorry. Before let me go ahead and give a breakdown real quick. This is a video of a rapper named Elzhi. He's from Slum Village. They are from Detroit, as you can see up there. This is literally one of the best rappers, MCs of all time. Period. Point blank. If I do a list and I put him up against anybody to just write a rap right now, it'll be better than 99% of people's shit. And this is a video of him that I found a long time ago, and I was like, damn, that's a great breakdown. So he's about to do like a breakdown of raps and different styles and stuff. It's not that long. I'll tell you when to stop, but I just want you to see this because it's a great lesson for understanding blues style throughout this album. So go ahead, press play.
Yeah, I mean, it's slum, soulful, legendary underground music. That's what we do. This guy that mastered the art of styling, and I done mastered the art of patterns. You want to rap fast, you want to do patterns, you want to do styles, you want to do flow. We got that all day. This is one pattern. You know my MO, trim fro, brim low, gems glow, Timbo, slim ho in my limo. That's a pattern right there. That's like MO, trim fro, brim low, gems glow, Timbo, slim ho in my limo. That's a 7 pattern right there, right? But then you have a joint where I say, imagine it. I have your click and your management disappear and vanish half as quick as a magic trick. So you got imagine it, have your click, management, vanish half as quick, magic trick. That's what you call patterns, man. You know what I'm saying? I could take it to 3 patterns, I could take it to 4 patterns, I could take it to rhyme inside of rhymes, shadow boxes, I could do typewriters, I could flip all that. You know what I'm saying? Study the man the way you might have done an exam. I'm a G like 1000, one lump sum is a grand. Some of them plan to stop me shining. The vendettas got me rhyming forever like a rocky diamond. I could do patterns in any song, and basically, you know, if it's a girl song concept or whatever, I can still maintain the conversate with you, but as I'm conversating, it ain't just like a straight up conversation. It's chopped up through patterns, and that's what I've been trying to break down for a minute, man. I've been trying to break that code,
Right,
and I
that's
finally
right
broke
there.
the code.
But so he break down patterns there basically and tell you about the different types that you got, shadow boxing, zippers and shit, rhymes inside of rhymes when you putting shit together. And it's not even just the rhyme, like these words rhyme, but sometimes it's this outside rhymes is talking about one thing, but these inside rhymes is talking about another thing. And and Blue just does that so well on this album that maybe it'll even give you a bigger appreciation for your lyric breakdown that you about to do now. But so go ahead.
Much of a lyric breakdown. It was just such a like. I mean,
Bro sighed like 12 times.
We've talked about it before about just how the music doesn't really get the justice that it deserves a lot of the time. And I mean, just again, looking at the lyrical content, good luck. Like, if you want to go ahead and actually try analyzing it and saying anything without looking like a damn fool, it's going to be quite a bit of work. I I'd never listened to it before, but was really enjoying it, and some of the comments I'm written here, loved the samples, and it did make me think of Jay Dilla a lot, which is funny because then I went ahead and I did do a little bit of digging and research. I found the relationship that both him and Exile had with Slum Village. How Blue was like a hype man for Slum.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and all that jazz. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see where some of this is coming from. But the funny thing was that I'm listening, and I initially was like getting like a new, like I felt like it felt much more East Coast to me, like New York vibes was what I was getting and stuff. But then I'm hearing him talk about L.A. and California and stuff, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yep.
So I definitely wasn't picking, and then to find out that Exile himself is also from like a native of California, like that all really shocked me. I guess it really emphasizes perhaps not so much of a New York East Coast influence, but the influence that Slum and Jay had on them. To yeah.
You know, it's interesting you say that because this really is around the time when that those lines start getting crossed as far as like, you don't sound like you from East Coast, you don't sound like you from West Coast. The internet is starting to pop. People are downloading different stuff. People, because before this everybody was kind of isolated, so we rapped it like how the people around us rapped. But now you're starting to get influenced by people over here, and you're getting influenced by people over here and dudes. And now the South is starting to make its way into the rap game. So you got the Lil Wayne's taking over. You got the Ludacris is taking over. You got Jeezy coming out, like, and now this is when New York people kind of point to around this time when they say New York started dying hip hop wise, because everybody, you know, other South was making its own sound. Cali was starting to sound like New York, and New York motherfuckers was trying to sound like down South dudes, and it was like we kind of losing our soul around this time. So it's really it's really funny that you even brought that up, because I forgot about that till just now. But yeah, this is that time when you don't sound like where you from no more. We're starting to just sound like how we want to sound.
Yeah, I thought the skit about hating Exile but loving his beats was hilarious,
bro.
Like if that like there was so much truth that I felt there, and I mean I don't know what their actual relationship's like at all, but like like the potentiality makes perfect sense. Like, I hate him, but I love his beats, and his beats love me.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I said the same shit. I forgot about that skit until I listened to it again, and them motherfuckers did fall out, bro. They didn't make no music together for like 10 years, dog. Like, so that shit's hilarious that I had forgot about it and was like, oh, they did not make no songs together for. They came out with an album together last year during quarantine, finally, after not making nothing together since like 2009 or something like that.
Well, it was like 2007 and I think 2012.
Oh yeah, 2012. That's when it was.
2020. Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely did have. I was trying to get my boy Novelist on here because he knows Blue. He just did a song with him. He's like a hip hop historian, knows this album. I was trying to get him to let me know like exactly what they fell out about. But I wasn't. He didn't respond, and I waited too long to even message him, so it was my fault. But I don't know the exact story. I can only assume that it's the same story of any group or people that just get tired of each other or got different ideas for how they should move and get on. But yeah, continue.
Like, so one of the things that I struggle with this type of music is being able to decipher and discern when the artist is perhaps talking like from their own like perspective in life and experiences and kind of like a character, or they're talking about someone that they know. One of the things that was a little confusing to me is that I would hear him go ahead and say that he was the son of a pimp, but then also talk about like at least having a pastor as a father figure in his life and being raised by a pastor. So I'm like, wait, was he a pimp or was he a pastor? Was like, like did your mom link up with someone else after, and there's a lot of confusion there. But also like so I mean I don't know the story, but it also really doesn't matter because you see, I can't remember which song it was that he said it, but essentially he says something about being able to like cater to um, like the underground woke types, and but also like still hanging out with the coochie monsters. I think is what he said.
Yep.
But yeah, so a little yin and yang there. But one of the things that was interesting is that just the general like story I was getting from the entire album. Like so often he was, you saw this struggle within, essentially between the spirit and the material, right? Like wanting to be himself and doing his own thing, but my girl's going ahead and giving me a hard time about X, Y, and Z because her sister's rich, because her boyfriend is a hustler, and that sort of thing. And that temptation to go ahead and pull you out of being an artist and walking a holy path, really. Like, I mean, he talks about that quite a bit, like, how important spirituality and all that jazz is for him, and trying to go ahead and walk that path. But these demons keep trying to pull you away. And I mean, you hear that a lot. You've had us listen to Lupe. Lupe talks about that a lot and stuff.
Wait till we get to the cool.
Oh yeah, for sure with the cool. But I don't know. He spoke on that theme so often throughout the album, but it was always new and fresh. It didn't feel like being lectured. Even though like he was preaching like so much of the album, but in such a way that it doesn't feel like that.
This is you've activated my trap card, Jake. I left that out to see if either one of y'all kind of felt that vibe or theme throughout the project. So I'm glad you did, Jake. Not to say you didn't, Wazzy, but you just didn't bring it up. So that's also one of the reasons that I had really resonated with this joint, bro, because of the simple fact is that's who I was. And it's so funny, like you supposed to feel like that at 21, 22, bro. Most people are not riding around in Lamborghinis, you know what I'm saying? Like in the club throwing hundreds, buying the Cristal and the shot and the bottles for everybody in VIP. Like that's not how you are at 22, 21, 20, bro. Like you're figuring shit out. But for some reason, we had been, brainwashed into thinking that that's what you want to be, and that's what the girls want. So that's how if you're not that, you better act like that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get shit out here. And like I said, you got to remember when this came out. This was smack dab in the middle of the flossing arc of hip hop, the balling arc. And it's a guy that's like, nah, bro, I'm not like that, baby girl. And that's one of my favorite songs in First Things First. He basically saying, listen, man, and in Blue Collar Worker, but mostly in First Things First, he really get deep into it where he's saying, hey, I don't got all the shit that them other guys got. So do you want me to be an honest man, or do you want me to, like you say you won't? Because because I'm telling you I'm broke, I'm taking a bus, and that's too honest for you. You gonna leave me, or do you want me to be a flosser and a faker like the rest of these motherfuckers? And that was a struggle that a lot of dudes was having. But in this album, you see him come to terms with, listen, that's who I am, and if you ain't rocking with it, you ain't rocking with it. But I also know I'm nice as fuck, so my confidence ain't gonna be lower. And he said it a couple of times, I'm handsome, so they still gonna give me some ass every now and again. Like it's a struggle, and it's a thing that you kind of had to go through, and that I was like fuck yes, man, thank you. Like, because I wasn't in the situation where I was taking the bus and shit, but that's how my cousins and shit was too. I was just, I don't know how I was getting places. Mom dropped me off. I was blessed enough to have a mom and dad who was just like, all right, I'll take you there, Mike. They'll complain about it, but I'll still get there. You know what I'm saying? But my cousin Ralph taking the bus since he was like 7 years old to get to school. The D-Dot, not the fucking cheese bus, y'all. He going to the corner, waiting for that bitch to pick him up, drop him off at DPS school. It was like, so I know I know I got family friends who had to go through that shit and felt like I'm less of a man or, unattractive to girls because I got to live a regular life, when in reality, this is more regular. This is the average person. That other shit y'all see on TV ain't it.
Yeah, and that's a whole other conversation about what is normal, and what is the norm. But yeah, that's way out of the depth here. But let me see. All right, so some of the lyrical notes I have on My World is
love this intro.
He says it's BLU, and if you see the E, drop them. It's like they dropped E from the Beats eavesdropping. I don't know how many times you can say E. No. One after another, but I was sitting there just reading the lyrics, not even listening to it at all, and I was going ahead and getting tongue-tied. So there's that.
In the sample though, and Exile finds a bunch of different blue samples throughout this project too, where I'm like, where'd you even find, what crate did you find this in, bro, where they just saying blue? He got a couple of them on here sampled, and I'm like, oh, he stole that right out the Fallout soundtrack. That's straight out of Fallout 2.
He says I'm a ride till I crash, and I still ain't got a ride. I was Sunday. We were doing more of a writing session with the podcast, and there was a drum set down in the basement. So I was going ahead and riding the crash and crashing the ride, and so I just really enjoyed that lyric a whole lot there. Another thing that he said on that song was, "'Cause opinions are assholes."
Everybody got one.
No. He says, "'Cause opinions are assholes. They full of shit."
Oh yeah.
Which isn't where you expect him to go.
But
he goes this other route, but then he goes ahead and fills in exactly what you were expecting by saying everyone got one.
And if they don't, they went out and bought one.
Yeah. So like he takes something that exactly, like he starts where and you know exactly where he's going, but he twists it, but he also gets you to where you know.
Yep.
That was really fun. What do we got here? Oh, if I can go ahead and work my windows properly. On the narrow path, and the stars barely shine in the city, so we're blinded by the man-made bright lights. That was really trippy, a little bit, because, I mean, I don't know, that's something I do think about, is the importance of living away from all that light pollution, being able to look up at the stars and just to know how small you are.
Yeah.
So it really made me think a little bit about like the effect it has on like the consciousness, and especially like large swaths of consciousness in like big cities like LA and New York. He also says, "Hot watching police plot knocks to get my peeps locked, smiling as my teeth rot from getting sugar coated quotes." And even there, like I had a difficult time just saying.
I love hearing you recite these lyrics, bro. It's so good.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I enjoyed the first part with him talking about the police plot knocks and stuff, but then him starting to talk about the teeth rotting and sugar coated quotes. Took it a different way. Then he says, "I'm training to be a seamstress, sewing holes that dreams fit. Fiends bring broken clocks, trying to get their dreams fixed. Ticking, itching, talking, watching." And again, like that was also I don't know because he talks about his mom, like the line right before that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just talking about like sewing holes that dreams fit, and in relation to what he was just talking about with his mom. But then him talking about fiends bringing clocks, and like you got nervous ticks and all that jazz, but the ticking of the clock, and then also tying in like the itching and all that jazz, like it really paints like a huge visual for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Juice and drinks, he says.
And Juice and Drinks, that's my least favorite beat on this project, but it's one of the reasons that I know, like, okay, but that's also one of my favorite verses of his on this project. And I'm like, if you can, sometimes you can just out rap the beat, I guess is my thing. Like you can, if you can not like a beat, but I've had certain dudes, this is one of the few times where I'm like, I'll listen to this song still because I like his verse so much, I guess is what I'm saying. But that's really hard to do. And and Wazzy, you can attest to this. It's super hard, right? Like if I don't like the beat, man, I can't listen to the song damn near.
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some times where a dude sings or raps or does something on the song so well that you're like, all right, maybe this ain't as bad as I thought. Like it just kind of makes you like it a little more. And I just think the opposite way happens so much more often, where the beat is just so good you don't care about the lyrics. But when the lyrics are so good that it makes me care about the beat, I really respect that. And Juice and Drink is one of the ones where I was just like, yeah, it's always been like, just all right, yeah, this ain't my favorite, nothing.
Yeah, but one of the things that he says on there that I thought was super funny, remembering that this is 2007 when this album came out, he says, "So I can leave and be with Blue because he slighted me right." I'm like, it sounds like a reference to Tinder, but yeah. So I thought that was funny to me. But he also says on that track, "And shine bright as a diamond with dimes dying as dikes." Again, another mouthful that
hella mouthful.
Yeah. And then on the bonus track, he says he makes a reference to the Bushwhacker Stomp.
Yeah.
And that made my day. So I mean, like I was going through, and like at a certain point after the first several songs of just looking at the lyrics, I'm like, okay, I mean, like, what am I gonna do here? So that's what I got. I enjoyed the album. Thank you. I had never listened to it before, and it was super enjoyable. And I really loved the sampling that was done on there. I really want, especially, I mean, like, I really enjoyed Blue, but I really want to look out for more Exile
production.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta search for it because he just do a lot of random stuff, and it's not gonna say and Exile like this shit do. You gotta just kind of check his discography and what's it called, see what else he got to rock on.
Man, remember that era when they used to go ahead, like the featuring was also the producer, like featuring Swiss Beats.
Yep. And that came back a little bit in this last, between like 2014, 2018. DJ Mustard, London on the track, Metro Boomin, Mike Will made it. They was all getting their names featured on song. So I guess they was like, fuck that. Nah, they right back to saying fuck that. I don't know. Maybe you get a little bit more percentage when you're listed as an artist on the song instead of just a producer. So maybe they like, fuck that. I'm already not making enough money. But yeah, closing words on this project. I just, Whether you like it or not, I suggest everybody listen to it if you want to be familiar with hip hop classics, because this is without a doubt one of those, and it's one of those that came out. When you think of hip hop classics, most of the time you think of the 90s or the 80s, right? Like stuff like that. But this is one in 2007 that came out during a weird time that people still rock with and love to this day. So I suggest if you want to get familiar with hip hop, go ahead and give it a listen. Wazzy, I believe it's your turn, right?
Jake's.
I'm fucking trash.
Not all white people look alike, Mike.
Bitch, I said Wazzy. I ain't say shit about who. Go ahead, bro. What you got us listening to this week, doggy?
Yeah, we're gonna get real ethnic with it, real white with it.
Ethnic in here.
So, Flogging Molly is Within a Mile of Home.
Okay. Did we listen to some Flogging Molly already?
You're the one with the list, Mike. I've asked for it like 10 times.
I'm not looking at it right now. All right, Flogging Molly. I've definitely heard of them. Never listened to this shit though, so we getting it in. There's some hard shit. What's the genre here?
Irish
you'll
punk.
find out. Yeah,
Irish punk. Okay, nice.
That's all you get. You'll hear from there.
Have you heard this project before, Wazzy?
Yeah.
Okay, fire. Cheers, boys. This is the No Consensus Podcast.
Peace.
You supposed to stand up now with your ass cheeks out.
And you gotta throw the money.
Oh yeah, you gotta throw the money.
But you gotta throw it like this, like.